Hello, welcome to Fahrenheit Performance Podcast, episode number 97. Today we have Philipp and Arjun, episode 53 and episode 22. Welcome back.
Thank you.
You guys getting PTSD from being back here?
Good memories.
Good, okay, I'm sure.
Same for me.
You guys, I got you here today because you just finished Langkawi on the weekend. Arjun, you came third in your age group. Philipp, you came fourth. And you two are the biggest, craziest trainers, non-professional athlete trainers, right? That I know. So I wanted I wanted you guys to come in and pick your brains because, like Philipp, I see your Instagram Friday night. It's only date night, right? And I see you jogging along, 20 kilometers on the treadmill Friday night, and then every single Saturday you guys do an RTI. Is that right?
Yeah, mostly.
Okay.
Yeah, almost every single weekend. Unless we're not in town.
Yeah. Welcome back, guys.
And then we do it maybe in hotel rooms.
So Langkawi, Arjun, you did a 4:43.
Yes.
And you came third, right? Philipp, you did a 5:10, and you came fourth. I guess, why don't you guys give us a brief rundown on how the races went for you each, and then I'll sort of ask questions along the way, I guess.
Sure.
Yeah, for me, I came back from quite a long time off, or relatively long time off from having dengue fever.
That's right.
And I mean, that is something that can, knock you out for quite a few months, actually. Yeah. But I was lucky that I was back after 3 weeks, more or less, training.
Are there different strains, like, of intensity? Like, if you get a particular one, is it worse than others, or is it?
I mean, it's from what the doctors told me. Yeah. The risk comes with the low platelets and white blood cell level. And I mean, whilst it was low for me, it was not so critical that I had to stay in hospital and be monitored.
Yep.
So on the severity span, I think it could have been much worse.
Yeah.
And also impact other organs.
Yep.
For me, it really felt like COVID almost. Body aches, body pain, skin rashes, and extremely fatigued and tired.
Yeah, I've heard that it's really painful, right?
I felt, because I felt the symptoms right coming back from Cebu, 70.3. So I'm not sure whether I actually got it on the way back, or in Singapore right afterwards. And I felt really sore and flu type symptoms. So I thought it was a mix of I have a cold, and I still feel sore from the race.
Yep.
But when I developed skin rashes, I kind of knew something is off and went straight. My wife sent me straight to hospital. Basically, and the doctor said, you have dengue fever after blood.
So they took a blood test, and then they confirmed.
Basically, after that, I was 1 week just sleeping. But I had to take painkillers. Not really much else you can do to ease some of the symptoms, like back pain.
Because dengue fever is a killer, right? Every year in Singapore, it kills people.
People die, yeah. People can die from it.
Yeah.
But I'm not too experienced with this sort of illness, but I would assume that you need some sort of preconditions to really be.
Is it like a spider bite? Normally, like the elderly or the young, maybe they're the ones that die.
Maybe you have like diabetes or some. You have a weak immune system that it impacts you more than others. But anyway, so I was back training light after 3 weeks or so.
So that was how far out from Langkawi? 3 months?
Actually, less. I checked. I had it towards the end of August. So it was around 10 weeks or so.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, 10 weeks.
And then 10 weeks, and then 3 weeks off. Completely off training.
Off, and then basically I had
7 weeks.
7 weeks.
6 weeks
to really get up to.
Okay.
To speed.
Yeah.
I did feel in the beginning though that I felt fresher, and I didn't really felt that I had lost much fitness.
Okay.
But I think what came to that on top of it is that a quite erratic work schedule, and a lot of my training fell into late nights, those Friday night runs, and times that are not really best to train.
Yep. Did that impact your recovery schedule as well? Because if you're up at 10 o'clock running, right, and then you can't sleep until midnight, then you won't wake up fresh the next day.
So it's of course, you're always running quite slim on sleep. And of course, the effectiveness of the training is probably not as high as if you can consistently do it maybe early mornings.
Yeah.
So I think these two paired set me already up not that well for the race. But I did feel well going to Langkawi, and I was quite positively spirited.
So when you got to the start line, you felt okay.
I felt good.
Yeah, anything could happen, right?
Yeah, I felt I could really have a fantastic race, and I came there to win a podium spot for sure. And then throughout the race, high level, I felt quite early on the bike that I don't maybe have that much power, especially because Langkawi starts hilly. And I felt after that section in the beginning, I felt more spent than I felt 2 years ago when I had my best. I would still say that was my best race to date, where I was second in my age group. I think 9th overall, 11th overall. In rain though. I mean, we had a really hot day on that race day. It was raining all week, and basically the entire kind of sun and heat came out on that particular day. But yeah, I felt already on the bike that this is going to be tough. Yeah. And then when I got off the bike and started to run, I really felt that it's gonna be tougher than I thought.
So your run, you did a 154. What would you typically do? Coming off the
137, yeah.
137, so you're like 15 minutes.
Yeah. But I mean, it was different weather as well. Was it 155? I thought it was 151. It doesn't matter. It sounds...
The official app told me today it was 154, so...
it's fine. It's definitely, I can do better. It definitely is below my capability, even in the heat, which I have shown in Da Nang. But yeah, I think for me, I still wasn't that unhappy with it, because the way this race unfolded for me towards the end, I knew number 3 is too far away to probably catch him in the state I was. Number 4 was still number 5 was still quite far away, but not so far that I could just let go.
How did you know your splits?
I mean, I got it shouted into.
So you had someone on the sidelines that was yelling splits out to you?
Yeah.
How about you, Arjun? You did a comparatively slightly better race. Your lead up to it was you had 3 weeks of extra training when he was lying in bed.
I don't think there are any hiccups in terms of health. The only hiccup was that I was away for travel in September for 2 weeks. So that was quite interesting. I've done that before as well, for Cebu as well. So yeah, I take my setup with me. I take my trainer, put it in the hotel room, and then just chuck it away in the hotel room. And I was in the US that time.
So you bring your bike and your trainer?
I get my bike and I've got that portable trainer, the Omnium one that the pros use here. So I take the bike and then use the treadmill and the bike in the hotel room. So yeah.
Wow.
The 2 weeks he was out for dengue. I was sitting in an hotel in the US.
Yeah. Okay.
Getting the stuff done over there. But yeah, after coming back, I think I got a good 7 weeks build. I think what stood out for me was this was not the A race that I was looking for this year as well. What I was actually doing was I was actually building more volume for a full Ironman in December that I'm targeting.
Okay.
So practically, I think I was not doing a lot of speed work. The speed work that I included in my training was, I think, 2 weeks before, mostly on the bike.
Okay.
So I mean, everything comparison to where I generally start on the swim, I had a very relaxed swim.
So you did a 32 on the swim. Is that normally?
I go for a 28, 29 generally. Mostly it's 29.
Okay.
This time I was a bit relaxed on the swim because I didn't want to push my heart rate. I didn't train for it.
Yeah.
But the bike was like full go from the time it started. Just pushing, and I think I had like a really good bike split on the silly course for sure. But I think the overall level of competition this year was also quite high compared to last year. The field was very deep, and then everyone was pushing on the bike from the get-go. Yeah. I mean, last year, if I would have done like 226, 227 on the bike, I would have easily been top 5. But this year, after pushing 227, I was still like 4th in my age group and overall like way behind in terms of what the age group was pushing.
Oh, okay. So you came off the bike and you were like 4th or 5th?
I came off the bike and I was like a 4th in my age group. I was not so far behind, but still, I mean, for that spread, previous years would have been much better result. Yeah. Then immediately, as soon as I got off the bike, I think there was no time to like rest or take it. And generally, I take the first 7 kilometers easy and then push the last 14. Here, I had to like consistently push like 442, 443. And then I think the last 10, 11 kilometers, what stood out for me in this race was that was a lot of like tactics and strategy that I had to deploy. And the reason for that was the 3rd, 4th, 5th, all of us were within 1.5 minutes. At one point, we were like running next to each other.
So you actually saw, you saw, you knew
We could, because we were all like stacked together.
and your numbers are similar as
It
well.
was similar. We were in like order at the start line because of our ranking and AWA ranking. So we were all similar. I knew who they were. We were all in the same age.
Yeah.
All of us were looking at each other.
Yeah.
And then we were running together for 10, 11 kilometers. And then I think small things I had to do, like, first like try to pick up the pace, try to drop them. That didn't happen. Then small things like at aid stations, they would stop to grab the whole jar of water. I would just take 2 bottles and go off.
Yeah.
And in the end, I think over 10, 11 kilometers, that gap widened to 1 minute. And finally, it was like 90 seconds.
Yeah.
So the third, fourth, fifth was across 90 seconds. So yeah, I mean, at some point, I was like, okay, I'll race hard today.
It sounds like Kona, this year's Kona, when the 3 Norwegians were out there just duking it out, right?
Not so dramatic, but yeah, I mean, at some point, like after the 12th kilometer, I'm like, okay, fine, I'm not going to give it up.
Yeah.
I'll just run because I didn't want to like get injured as well. But at the same time, I'm like, I'm not going to give up today. So I just stopped looking at my heart rate and pace, and then I just kept running with them. I'm like, let's just get it done with.
Yeah.
So the last 9 kilometers was somewhat quite different from what I'm used to racing generally, but
Yeah.
happy with the result.
Did they one by one crack, or did you just...
No, they cracked one by one. I didn't push, honestly.
Okay.
We were all running the same pace, which was like 442, 443. I think the gap got created with the 8 stations. And then ultimately, I think the heat and everything acted upon.
Yeah.
And I had been doing intensive heat training for this race. I mean, with some new technology as well. So it helped a lot in the end.
So it was like 38 degrees, right? During the race. Did it feel like that, or did it feel hotter?
It felt, I think it was real heat was over 40.
Okay.
Over 40 degree on the day. It was much cooler the days before. And I was hoping of kind of like a repetition of 2022.
Okay.
We had like really, it was still very humid, but it was cold and clouded.
Okay. So it was humid.
As a run.
It was humid and hot on race day.
There were no clouds also. There was no cloud cover.
There was no cloud,
It was
yeah.
like totally hot till like around 2:33. That's when the clouds started coming. But there was no rain the entire day.
Yeah.
There was that kind of... and then
So it's just the baking sun then, right? It's not because if it's cloudy, it wouldn't be as hot because it will be blocked.
extremely hot race on the run especially.
So did that affect your race strategy?
It did a bit. I mean, because you have to prioritize your well-being post-race as well. And I've done previous races where we have given our all. Like last year in August, this year in August, we did in Cebu, right? We gave it all, and then after the race, we fell sick for 1 week. So that's like a different kind of racing, when
Just
you do
riding yourself into the ground.
better to be everything on ground. But this race for me was more like, just get it done. I had to get back to training right away. So I had to pull back certain things. But yeah, I mean, happy with the result at the end of the day.
Do you guys wear anything in particular for the heat? Did you have one of those rock headbands, or do you have like white? Were you wearing your white kit or anything like that?
I think what I wore was I had a cap in which there were like pouches for ice. So I'd worn that, but unfortunately the ice was given loose, so didn't get much of a chance. So it was mostly like water on ourselves and just putting in some ice in the suit. That's what I could manage. What did you manage?
I mean, I wear the Omnius,
So you do have the rock headband.
that headband.
Does it really? Is it like?
I think I forget what I saying now, but it does help. I mean, it does definitely give some cooling effect, but there's also disadvantages, I feel. I mean, first of all, your head is not covered. You lose all this effect of, if you wear a cap, you can put ice cubes beneath it that, the ice keeps cooling you throughout. You lose that effect. And I feel really, as long as you go into the race, the effect kind of decreases.
Okay.
And I'm actually considering using something else next race. Yeah.
Because they make hats. They make caps with it built in now.
Bucket heads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Things like that. But I think it will benefit me more if I have something where I can store ice then melts as you run and keeps cooling you.
You need to talk to Cyril. They have that new hat that has a little ice pocket. Is that the one that you
I bought another Compass Sport one, but it's the same. I mean, the concept is the same. You can put in ice, but that purpose one has got like a band as well.
Yeah.
So the glacier hat.
Yeah, it's not cheap, but it's apparently works pretty well. So, Philipp, you did a 32 as well on the swim. Is that what you'd normally do?
I mean, first of all, swim was great that I finally was able to swim with Arjun. So we had strategized a little bit in the beginning because, I mean, Arjun
is it different age groups though, right?
Yeah, but I mean, we both swim under 32 minutes, are capable of swimming under 32 minutes. So we were in the front. I was positioning myself a little bit ahead of him. We were planning to, at some point, meet on the course, which we did. And I hang on. We were swimming.
How do you even
leg
see?
to leg.
How do you even know who each other are? Right.
I mean, Arjun,
my red suit out.
there's no one more visible on race
Then
course
there's 6 foot,
than Arjun. And
6 foot plus with a red surprise suit.
yeah, dark-skinned, red race suit. Pretty easy to see in the water. So he was actually first behind me.
Yep.
And then he overtook me, and I was actually hanging on. I think at least until like 1,200 meters into the water.
Okay.
And then someone cut in between and slowed me down. But I think we ended up still T1 at the same time. And I was really like stoked, actually. I thought, well, this is fantastic. I saw also the age group favorites around me as well. So I thought that really set me up well. I have to say, swimming, I thought, is my weakness this time because that training suffered, and my swim technique is not that great. So I need a lot of fitness to and kind of stroke cadence to keep up my pace.
Yep.
And I thought that had suffered a little bit, but surprisingly, under race conditions, it did not really make much impact on my time.
This year at Da Nang, your age group was like really, really, really stacked, right? Yeah, right. I remember you got a 440 and you came 15th or something crazy, right? How was the field for your age group? You're in the 40 to 44 age group, right? For Langkawi.
I don't think it was as stacked, but I think I know the time looking at it is just, I was 27 minutes or so slower this time than 2 years ago. But it was a completely different day.
Yeah.
We had that time, we had pouring rain, we had cloud cover all of the day. And now, last weekend, it was the complete opposite. Like, we had no clouds. It was hot,
scorching heat.
You immediately 20 minutes slower if you're not a strong racer under these conditions. And for me, unfortunately, if it gets very, very hot and humid, I tend to not be able to execute to my ability. It's still something I work on. I love racing in the heat. I love the challenge. And I continue to do so, but it's just something that is a weakness for me. I think the field. I think the field was not as competitive as Da Nang.
I can't imagine it could be, right. Like when I saw that result at Da Nang and I saw your time, that's a great time, but then you were like 15th, and I'm like, does that mean there's 14 people that went faster than 440, which is crazy.
I mean, there's a lot. I think there's a few more aspects that play into it. There was a lot of drafting in Da Nang. And if you look at the time gap between the 15th and the I don't know, top 10, it was like a minute, 2 minutes or so, I think.
Oh, okay.
Not saying that any of these people in front of me did that, but there was a fair amount of drafting, generally speaking, in that race.
Okay, and then so for this race, you went a little bit faster on the bike, right? You did 227, you did 237, right? Was that just because you went full gas? You really pushed it?
Yeah, going into the race, my only strategy was to push hard on the bike. That was simple because, again, I'm preparing for a different sort of a race. But yeah, this bike for me, even in my training pace, is written hard bike. That was the objective of the race. Yeah. So just going out to the bike, my objective was to push hard. I had a set number of watts I had to push. So I was just sticking to that. And then more importantly, I had to test out close to 130 grams of carbs on the bike.
Oh, okay.
Those are my two objectives, see how much I can stomach it.
So what was your objective? Because you did 263 watts.
Yep.
Was that your goal, 260 around there?
My goal was 265 normalized, and I hit 263 normalized.
Okay.
So
you're right on target.
Yeah, around target, yeah. So that's around target. And then, of course, the nutrition was what I wanted to test and see if I can stomach in 130 grams. Of course, it's water conditions.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I think even with that power that I was pushing, I still could not see the front of the race till I reached T1. So I was surprised. The first two were in a different league, but then everyone from the third position all the way till the 10th, all of us were in the same range, but still it was hard to close the gap in that race.
Yeah.
Cyclists are getting too strong now. It's insane.
Yeah. So on other typical race is 230, 225 roughly where you are for the bike?
I mean, depends. In Cebu, it was mostly like around 228, but I was taking it easy. But if it's a flat post like Da Nang, I can go like 221. I mean, this one, 227 is with 800 meters of elevation as well. So there's quite a lot of climbing on this course, right? But I would say like 220 probably would be best, even if it's a flat course. No faster than that.
How about you, Philip? Was 237 roughly what you normally do, or you go?
I did 227 2 years ago. On
Okay,
that course.
same course.
Bike. Yeah, but again, it's different weather. And I have to say, I felt really hot from the beginning. I really started pulling from the first aid station. I had to use ice water. I felt really temperature rising. I felt quite taxed after 60, 70 kilometers, which I don't usually do. So I could really feel the heat stress quite early in that race. Da Nang, I think course-wise, a flat course always fits me a little bit better when I have to apply consistent power. I did 218 in Da Nang this year, and still feel I have more potential. But yeah, I
Because 90 kilometers, you do 130 every single weekend, right? It's not like it's a stretch,
yeah,
right?
We do it relatively easy
Not
most of the time.
zone 2,
Unless-
zone 2, not zone 4.
Yeah, it's not like zone to zone, but the amount of stoppages, and then of course you have to run also off the bike here.
Yeah,
For sure, like save our legs as well. I mean, it's not like a time trial relay
Yeah.
that we are running just the bike. So I think that also plays into it a lot. But yeah, I mean, for the amount of riding that we do on the weekend after getting off the bike at this distance, it's not that we feel it. I mean, 2 years ago, probably we might have felt it more. Now, I mean, like 90 kilometers doesn't feel so much for us, I would say.
On those long weekend rides that you do you run off the bike? Do you do your RTI and then do a 10K or anything like that?
Occasionally, closer to the race, yes.
Yep.
Closer to the race, yes. I mean, for the last 4 weeks before this, I've been doing that. Like doing the RTS and then running off like 4-5 kilometers. But the specific longer runs of the bikes, mostly I keep it for Sundays because you need a little bit more fresher there. Yeah, those are like mostly on Sundays. Like we do an indoor ride again, like 90 minutes and get off the bike, run for 14-15 kilometers and then wrap it up.
Is your house set up like Philip's, where you have a treadmill and a trainer, and you can just do a whole duathlon in your spare room?
And I just got like a...
Apocalypse can break out and can still do.
Mine is like much more simpler. I just got a room where I've got the trainer.
Yeah.
And it also doubles up as my study as well. But my running and all is mostly outdoors, or I head to the gym too.
So you don't do like a duathlon on Friday nights like Philip?
My daughter is really upset if I do that.
How about you, Philip? Do you normally run off the bike on the weekends when you do that training?
Yeah, I mean, very similar to Arjun. Usually on those longer bike rides, I might do a swim and after that.
Okay.
Afternoon, easy swim after that. And then Sunday do, a harder indoor bike session and then a run outside.
Okay. Because I think that's one of the biggest newbie mistakes for triathletes is they practice each sport individually, and then race day they come and then it falls apart because now they're running on dead legs, right? And it's probably only the first 5K or something that's the hardest, because once you get into the rhythm, it's not so bad. But getting over that the fatigue of changing the muscle groups and stuff, right?
Yes.
So you specifically train for that, I guess, right?
Yes.
Arjun, sounds like your race was like a super battle between three of you. Have you been in that sort of situation before, or is that just?
And once I was in a situation in Da Nang before, but then again, like, I mean, there also, like, I mean, it played out in my favor in the end, but I was, it was not so intense. And this is the first time I've had such an intense pattern.
But I think Cebu, you also had that situation, no?
Cebu was like, I think it was more or less okay. I mean, because I was comfortable pushing in the last few kilometers. And the thing is that this race, my objective was not to get injured during the run, right? Cebu, I was like okay to like lie down at the end of the race. I didn't care. No, my objective was I have to like run them down. I have to run them down. That's simple.
Yeah.
I mean, ultimately, the guy who came first in Cebu was just like 1.5 minutes ahead of me. So I lost that 90 seconds, but then I was pretty clear that I'll put everything here today to get to it.
Yep.
But this one I had to control. You know, I just had to get the objective accomplished and then pull back so I don't fall sick. Right? But it was like intense for sure. And it took like a lot of mind coaching because I had to keep telling myself in the mind that I have done these hot races.
Yeah, that's not
better. I know better than these guys when to like break or when to stop.
Okay.
And
do you know where they were from? Were they like?
I know, like one was a Japanese guy. I raced with him in Cebu. In fact, in Cebu he was third and I was second.
Okay.
And here again he was with me off the bike. He was just behind me. And then there was another Malaysian guy. So I know both of them very well.
Okay, so the Malaysian guy should be able to run that heat pretty well, right?
Quite strong with me. And I mean, ultimately in the end, of course.
Is it stressful? Is it stressful?
Power or like whatever took over, and then
Was it stressful having to continuously think about this sort of thing? Like if you're out there running and you've got a 5-minute gap on the person behind you, it's just like cruise control, right? But now you got to think about the other person's tactics and what they're going to do.
So after 12 kilometers, like every aid station, I mean, luckily there's no time to grab ice. I mean, you guys grab a bottle and keep running, right?
Yeah.
And I'd always keep looking behind my shoulder, and at each U-turn I had to count, okay, fine, I just passed him, like, so he's returning back, what's the number of seconds that I have a gap with him? Because here it's like a rolling start, right? So I don't really know if they have started 10 seconds.
Yeah. Yep.
When they were all the same numbers, I've been tracking them. So now it's like I have to get each second as I cross the finish line. I can't rest. Because they might just overtake me in the end. They might cross after me.
Or you could cross over, you could beat them by 5 seconds, but they might have 10 seconds in their pocket, right?
I started like 30 seconds after me.
Oh, that is stressful.
So I'd like fight for each second and keep creating that gap. So it was a good experience.
But, in like, if New York Marathon was on the weekend, right? If you've crossed the finish line third in the New York Marathon, the actual chip time and the gun time, they go by the gun time, not by the chip time, right? So it's the actual placings that people cross when you get the podiums, right? So you can't start at the back of the field and run through the field and get third, right? You have to cross the finish line third. But
here I think it's chip time. Here is you start when you want, but I mean it's chip time to chip time.
Oh, that's a strategy in itself, right? You could sandbag and start behind and then try to catch up. Right?
But yeah, it was a different sort of racing, but I enjoyed it. And then also I was thinking to myself that this might be the last 70th year do for a while, so I'm like, might as well just push and see. But now I'm like, this might probably not be a good idea. Let's just put 70.3s out next year as well. Let's see.
Because you're training for Busselton at the end of the year, right? Your first full Ironman, right? If that goes well, is that going to be your gig now? You're going to leave Philipp behind and just concentrate on
where you don't know what I'm doing.
No, I don't think. I mean, like practically, it's not possible given the amount of time and I mean, it's like practically a full-time job just to like train for this full Ironman. I'm realizing.
Yeah.
I mean, if you just want to do it for fun, I think it's different. But if you really want to do well, it's like quite intense. So maybe not. Maybe I'll do this one, rest up, and then see what my next year goals are. But I just want to do one first and see how.
Do you have a goal in mind? Do you have any target?
And then just not to like keep walking into the night.
You don't want to finish when the sun is still up?
So you'll finish when the sun is up. That's the only target I have right now. And let's hope the sun stays out long.
So what would that be? Would that be like 11 hours?
Yeah, potentially 11 hours should be like a decent.
7 o'clock at night, right? It'll be.
Like for the first one, I would say 11 hours should be a reasonable target.
Yeah.
Looking at what I ran in the half and assuming it's a bit colder weather, I'm hoping that 11 hours is a reasonable target.
When it's in November, last weekend of November.
First week.
It's the first weekend of December. Wow. Yeah, it shouldn't be 38 degrees, right? But it's not going to be. It probably won't be 25 degrees, right? So
let's see. I have to like just go and get it done now.
I think you were much faster than 11 hours.
No, I don't have that confidence you have.
Philipp, how about you? So your race, you said that the person in front of you had like 10 minutes or so on, and the person behind you had 10 minutes, roughly
5 minutes.
5 minutes, but
like that, yeah.
Not within earshot of each other,
Not
right?
that day.
Yeah.
I mean, it was after 8 kilometers where I felt like this is gonna be tough to like to accelerate to negative split, which I planned to do, but there was no chance on that day.
Okay.
So I think at some point I settled with myself. This is like just keep fourth, and I mean, there were points in the race where I really had to go deeper than I thought I would have to. I mean, when we arrived on the run course, it was empty. I mean, I still remember this long, empty, hot road, and the aid station seemed much further away than usual. And I think really the second loop, I really, Jane told me you never looked so pale on a half marathon.
So the blood was draining from your face.
Oh yeah, I was pretty spent. And although it's like, I shouldn't really look at the time. I mean, I was still fourth out of 75, but I was just happy that I executed what I could on that day. And I still learned a lot, and happy that I
with
qualified for Nice.
With the training you did, and the sort of lead up you had with dengue and all that sort of stuff, do you think that your 5:10 or whatever it was is.
I mean, yeah, pushing this time, of course, it makes my neck hair stand up.
Yeah.
But with the placing relative on the day, I'm content. I think if I had been a bit more inexperienced than I was at the start, and there would have been a chance I would have actually pulled out.
Okay.
Yeah. There were points in the race where I thought I'm not sure like I can handle this today.
Yeah.
But it's, I think, experience, and I knew where I was in the race, what it needs to just get the job done.
Yep.
I was quite happy with that I could like shift my mind on, okay, this is not going to happen, but what's the best I can get out of the situation I have now, and then finishing fourth, getting the Nice world slot, getting AWA points. I hope I make gold this year. And
because that gives you preferential check-in and
low bib number,
better racking of your bike as well.
Yeah.
Right. Nice sticker you put on your helmet.
Yeah, I'm exaggerating, but I think it was more like I was really happy that I could, even though things don't go perfect, and I'm tend to be in some aspects quite perfectionist.
Yeah.
Kind of deviate from that and say, okay, it's just about like getting it done.
Yep.
Rather than like completely derailing.
So you guys train a lot, right? How much is a lot? How many hours a week are we talking about?
Who wants to start? I mean,
it depends on like which phase.
15?
Yeah, correct.
15?
I think normal week, I think even before this race week, I think we were going for like 17 hours. Yeah. But then like if you're going any longer, I think our longest week for 70.3 probably we did like 19 or 20. The last 2 weeks before Langkawi, I went to like 20.
Okay.
Yeah. But that was mostly on the bike. The most volume I did was on the cycle.
But you have different coaches, right? It's not like you're doing exactly the same training plan. It's just you do the rides on the weekends together, maybe, and maybe you run.
But it's good we push each other.
Yeah.
Sunday he pushes, Sundays I push.
Who's a better biker?
I don't know. Ask Philipp.
Technically, definitely Arjun. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But like Philipp, you seem to be like super vigilant with your training. Like you don't miss a training. Doesn't seem like you ever miss a training.
I do.
Yeah.
But it's not.
What does it take for you to miss a training session?
Work commitments for sure. I mean, and then of course there are times where you look at like your HRV, you look at like sleep, and just okay, maybe it's better to just sleep as opposed to.
So you would do that. You would if you feel like something feels a bit funny, you would just.
I mean, rather than losing a week because you get sick or you injure yourself, I rather swallow the bullet and say, okay, I know I hate miss training sessions, but.
You seem to be the sort of person that would really bug you to miss
training. It's like, okay, I get a good night's sleep and then I can, focus just on the next one to execute that effectively again and reduce risk of injury and burning out. Then I would think from experience it's better to just like let go. Yeah,
because if you're not well rested, the next training session is not going to be very beneficial anyway.
And then you keep, just rolling down.
Yeah.
But I mean, there are times where actually I felt pretty tired, but I still did the training. I felt like it was the right thing I needed at that point in time.
Yeah, it felt good.
So it's not always that black and white. I decided on the spot, but yeah, I hate mistraining, but it happens. It happens for sure.
Because you're both like high profile jobs, right? So it's not like you can say, sorry boss, I'm gonna skip this meeting early, I've got a 10k run to do on my treadmill, right?
Not happened.
Yeah. How about fueling nutrition? You said that you're doing 130 calories an hour, right? Carbs. Is that all in bottle, or you got gels, or what are you doing?
I mean, and honestly, I would say that we are just learning from what the pros are doing. Right. Not that we have like experience or anything, but over the years I've seen like the more you're able to ingest on the bike, the performance is much better. So for this race specifically, I had taken those carbs from a mixture of a carb drink, molten, and then more from the gels, right? And so the mix of these both. And again, I think it was fine tuning for an hour basis as to what the needs are.
It kind of feels like only a couple of years ago, people were talking 80 grams, right? And suddenly...
Like 60, 70, I remember 2 years ago when I did like, in Danang, I did the race, we were doing like 60, 70.
Yeah.
And now we're like pushing like 130, 140, but I can see the effects, right, Martin? Like, people used to come from a race, used to be sore for weeks. Now I've come back from this race on Saturday, I did the race Sunday, Monday I was off, but Tuesday now I'm back into full training again.
Yeah.
I mean, the soreness on the body, the after effects are reducing.
Is that what it is?
It is helping for sure post race, but even during the race also you're able to like stay more focused and push more. But again, you can't just take 130 grams on like race. You have to train for it.
Yeah.
And like every weekend I've been training, I've been gone from 90, 100, 110, and now finally race day was the peak.
It's like the next discipline is to be good at like mass eating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Or drinking.
So so in reality, 130 grams of carbs. The drinks that you drink to get that, does it taste? Is it like really thick?
It's extremely thick. It's like
Very like
very
sweet,
sludgy. Yeah, it's very sludgy.
like raw Ribena.
It's like a slush with a bit of salt, and then you just wash it down with water. But it does the work, right? I mean, it does the work, and you can feel the bite. And like I heard about this somewhere, I read about it, but this I don't know. Some professional said that your muscles and body just recognize sugar, right? So the more you feed it, the more it will give an output. They will not realize fatigue until the time they start starving.
Oh, really?
So they said, your muscles and body are like an engine. Keep fueling them, they'll keep performing. I think Joe Skipper or someone said it. I heard him on one of their interviews. I'll be like, okay, fine, let's keep trying and seeing till what point it breaks up, right? The 130 seems doable on a half, so now let's see if it's doable on a full.
Next year when we come back, we're gonna be 200.
Yeah, right. which means you're gonna have like.
But it comes with its own like set of disadvantages as well. That I've been trying that for like past 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
I mean, what I've noticed is that previously the amount of effort that would take to like drop weight before a race would be like less. But now with all of these carbs that you're ingesting in your body, there's no way a body drops weight or muscle because during the session it's only getting glycogen from this nutrition. There's no way it's burning anything in your body.
Yeah.
So you're basically entering the race like at the same stage you were like 2 months ago. You haven't dropped a single kg.
Yeah.
So there are like downsides to it I'm noticing as well. I mean, I haven't dropped any kgs from Cebu to now. I didn't drop any kgs, but now I realize that, okay, fine. I have to like figure out how to balance it out.
Because you're taking 1,000
Yeah, exactly.
grams.
I'm not gaining, but I'm
1,000 calories per workout.
Exactly, right? So it's like there's a downside as well. So now to figure out the balance, like which session you do with less calories so you burn some of your body fat. And these ones you just like, have to do with everything.
So long gone are the days where you just go out for a ride with 2 water bottles.
Those days were never there, except for my first triathlon where I just went with 100 plus in 2 waters and 2 jets. Those days are now gone. Now even for like a weekend ride, we are like fully stacked up with 3 bottles, with a couple of stops. And it's getting.
But it's expensive, right? If you're going to train at 130 grams of carbs every training session, the gels, like $4 or $5 a gel. You drop it. You're eating 4 or 5 of them per ride. Then your Morton drink mix or your PF90 or whatever you're using, another $20. You probably
Going to Simply Active.
yeah, no. It's like
I suppose like in Simply Active does help out. I mean, legend that he's like
Automatic order every month.
Is it like one of the subscriptions? Who just
Almost.
But I think that for the general public as well, for knowledge, right? I mean, you've got good options now. Like, I mean, you've got self-mix options that you can make. So I know some friends of ours who make self-mix options, but I've also come across new products like Blank Sports Nutrition, right? You can get like fraction of a cost.
Okay.
And even like Decathlon now is selling like low-cost options.
Yeah.
Essentially, the formula is the same. That doesn't change. So you can mix and use it based on like what your session is. Like during the week, I use a lot of like Blank Sports, but then as I get into Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I move to.
So you use the fancy stuff on the.
Yeah, on Friday, Saturday, Sundays, I move to like much more stronger stuff that I need for races. Like Monday to Thursday, anyways, are like lighter sessions. So you can get away with less carbs, less quality. Friday, Saturday, Sunday it becomes critical, and then you carry out a race.
Because you're riding against him, right? So you can't show any weakness. You got to take the good stuff and push.
But I mean, that's exactly right. Like, for example, if I do a weekday indoor ride in the morning, I don't need to take expensive Morton gel or endurance fuel. I take a banana and a coffee, and keep the gels for the weekend.
So during the race for you, Philip, what were you doing? Were you 130 grams as well?
120 or 120.
Okay.
Not yet at 140, but I think I will try a bit.
If Arjun's doing it, you got to beat him, right? So you got to be at 150 at least.
I think, but it has also benefited me. I mean, it's same what Arjun mentioned just now. I feel the recovery is much faster. I mean, although I was also, I was flattened Sunday, Monday, but I feel now the energy curve goes up quite fast again.
So if you
and it was a very taxing race. I mean, so if I can go back to Desiree, 2 years ago, 2023 was an unbelievably hot race.
Yeah.
I was third there, and the run took so much out of me. I could not push for like nearly a month.
Okay.
After that.
Yeah, that's what they say about the heat exhaustion. Like they're worried for Lucy Charles and Taylor Nim right now is that they don't know what the next race is going to be like, and because
so much time to recharge mentally, but I feel at least with the higher calorie intake that the body swings back faster.
How about during the race? If you hadn't taken your 130 per hour on the bike, would your run really suffer?
Extremely.
Right?
We would have cramped out in the first 5 kilometers.
Really?
I mean, it's like directly proportional. I mean, I've gone through like the 9 years that I have been doing triathlons. I've gone through the different stages of journey. I know how it has felt, getting off the bike and not having any energy in your body. And compared to now, like how everything has progressed, it's massively different.
I think
I was cramped in my last 2 races. So, I mean, nutrition does help a lot.
The biggest gains in cycling and in triathlon is nutrition, right? In the past 5-10 years, because 10 years ago, people having Gatorade and maybe a piece of fruit at the aid stations. Now it's like if people aren't even going to the aid stations because they've got all their special mix.
But you still have to do a training.
Yeah, of course.
Just consume 140 grams of carbs per hour.
Yeah. So Arjun, last I guess 8 weeks ago or a few months ago, you did Cebu.
Yes.
And
also
you came second. And this one you came third. Which was a better race for you, and how were they comparable in time and in sort of strategy and stuff?
I think this one was a much more strategic race, but I think if I look at the overall execution of the race, I think Cebu was a much better executed race for me. And I think the reason I say that is like sometimes races go to plan and sometimes you just throw caution to the wind. Right? So Cebu was one which was like totally going as per plan. There was no gaps. I was like in the front from the swim where I wanted to be on the bike. The run also was like calm minded and all.
Yeah.
This one I think had a strategy, but it went out of the window as soon as the run started.
So okay, so when you were running with the 3 people, do you run faster because of that in this race, or do you just your strategy was different and there's more surgy or something?
I think I definitely. I mean, it's not that I haven't run that pace, but past 6 weeks I haven't trained at that pace. Because I've been training for a full, so my pace zones for that are totally different. So running with this would definitely push me like to run much faster to keep up with that.
Yeah.
But then also like at certain point, all 3 of us were pushing each other.
Yeah.
So I mean, that was good, but then also it was like risky as well because one move here and there could like take away like another weeks of training for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I would say that Cebu was a much more well executed, calm race. Exactly what it wanted to be. This one was good till the run again. Then it's just like, let's just go. At some point, you just snap, right? At some point, all that frustration dawns on you the day. This is like months of training, and here I'm going to like lose a race just because I can't run 10 seconds faster for the last 9 kilometers, and then you just snap.
It's sort of evident.
That snap happened, and then I'm like, fine. I said, it's okay. I'm stopped looking at my watch. I'm just running more.
You kind of have to, right? Because if you know your zone 5 is 170, for example, right? And you're running along, and then the Japanese guy is inching away. You kind of got to look at your watch and say, okay, I'm in zone 5, but you kind of not look at it because if you back off and say, I'm not going to run in that zone,
then it's like, okay.
he's going to run away, right? So it's everything goes out the window in the heat of the moment.
Well, like, fine, let's just run and see till how long we can keep up, and then I think I was able to keep up more than him, and then he finally snapped.
Yeah.
Okay, fine, now let's carry on. So yeah, it was like, I mean, but I like calm races where nothing's for surprises, but I'm up for like battles. But again, probably my favorite race of there was Cebu for sure.
Yeah. And then in this race, the 3 of you crossed the line within 2 minutes.
90 seconds.
90 seconds. So basically, you sat down, and then the next person
I didn't even sat down. I reached. I was just like putting my hands on the railing, and then this guy came, and then I sat down to open my timing chip. The other guy came. So within 90 seconds, all of us were there shaking hands and looking at the board who's where. So that close.
Oh yeah, because I forget. Yeah, I forgot you. So but it was actually third, fourth, fifth. It came. You crossed the line in that same order, and it was the same order as the
same order as like. Well,
okay, that's right.
Like lucky everyone was.
So did you qualify as well for Nice? And you didn't take the slot?
No, I didn't take.
Is it why didn't you take the slot?
I mean, I'm not particularly interested to do like 70.3 worlds right now. Plus, I mean, I've qualified for world champs before as well, and it has never worked out for me in terms of travel logistics. I've always lost money. So I'm like quite, super sick.
How do you gain money in triathlon? You always lose money.
I didn't even end up going to the race for some reason.
Oh, okay.
So now I'm like, it's just fine. It's never meant to happen. So I'll do it the day I feel it's like good.
And yeah, Ironman races aren't cheap, right? What's it? $700 US or something for the entry, something like that.
The world champs is more expensive.
When is the next? Where is the next one after Nice?
After Nice is Oman, so that might be a good one actually.
At least it's a little bit closer, right?
It's one more Nice after.
Oh, so there's 2 Nices in a row.
Because they
part of the Kona deal.
the contract.
Yeah, part of the Kona deal with
And then it's Oman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think.
So
Fact check after.
yeah. Okay. So you took the slot.
I took the slot. I wanted to take something home.
Yeah.
It felt like an achievement. Yeah. I've yet to see if I do it.
Have you done that race before?
No, I haven't. It will not suit me. I know the bike course is very technical.
It's a very big hill, and then you come off it's like a 20-kilometer hill or something like that. But at least on the down is in towards transition, so you can somewhat rest your legs, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Like if it was a rolling hills, you're pushing up, pushing down, pushing up, pushing down, and you it's sustained effort.
Yeah.
And then you get into transition and your legs are cooked. Whereas this is a big sustained up and then a long down. And then you depending on how you do it, you can rest your legs a little bit and you could be fresher for the run.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Possibly.
But then 100 other athletes are also fresher for the run as well. So
but world champs are really more about the experience, I think. And absorbing the atmosphere. I mean, I've done now 2.
You did New Zealand.
I did Taupo last year and I did Lati the year before, and both were a really spectacular experience, both in their own way.
Okay. And next year the World Champs are earlier, right? Like
September,
so like 1 month earlier, because
it's warm still.
It's going to be warm because September in Europe is still coming out of summer, right? And any other races in between then and now?
There are.
You already signed up for some?
Yeah. I mean, I thinking of doing an early 70.3 next year.
Okay.
Potentially in Goa.
Oh, okay. Goa's back.
Sorry, not Goa, Sri Lanka, Colombo. In February, and then maybe a full.
Full? You think you're doing a full as well?
Then
You can't be outdone by Arjun, right?
I have already signed up.
Danang's you got a good place. Danang's you got a soft spot for Dang. You've done well in there, right?
Yeah.
And next year is the first year that Danang has a full, right?
Yeah, correct. So that's full. So 70.3 early, then potentially the full. Maybe the World Champs in September, but I definitely. Let's see how that first one goes. I probably choose quite a brutal place for it. But see how that goes. But I definitely want to continue 70.3 and improve this.
So how about you? So similar to Arjun, right?
Maybe I throw in another 51.50. That was actually my most successful race this year.
Oh, really?
Third. I was overall third in Desiree at 51.50.
Which is a Olympic?
No, it's
a long.
It's Olympic. It's 1.5 plus 50 plus 10 kilometers.
Yeah, I think that's Olympic. Or the bike's a little bit longer than Olympic. But so Danang this year, you did your 440, right? And then this year Langkawi, it was 5.
Cebu I did as well.
Cebu you did a 440 as well. So
no, Cebu I did just above 5.
5. Okay, so out of those 3, which
4. 51.50 I had.
Which is your favorite race? Which is the best one you've done this year?
Danang was definitely my best.
Yeah.
Danang, I came from a really good time of training from Phuket, and Jürgen had a really strong base, but for the rest, focus a little bit more on speed. I was really strong on the bike. I think 2:18 there. I had my PB in swim. I think I had 31 minutes there or so. And then on the run, I felt like I could have pushed harder. And then Desiree came, 51.50, where I really kind of said, I'm fine if I blow up. I just want to go as hard as I can.
Yeah.
And I was third there.
Yeah.
overall. And yeah, that was definitely my 2 best races. Then Cebu was just extremely hot. I had traveled before that to Europe, but not as an excuse, but it was just extremely hot. It was a great race. And then Dungey came and Langkawi, but I think Da Nang was my best race. Da Nang and Desaru.
What do you guys have any tips for newbies, for new triathletes who've never done Langkawi or any of these hot local races? What's your words of wisdom from a podium place finisher?
Don't try Langkawi as your first race.
We did Bintam was my first, and there was is a similar race actually. I feel.
No, I think for both races, for Cebu, Langkawi, I think my only tip is that I think you have to train for these hot conditions.
Yeah.
I mean, we are like blessed to have a similar weather in Singapore.
Yeah.
Right. And too often we ignore that and then we go to these races and, we don't have a best performance. But I think if anything, if newbies should like do best or if someone is looking to like do really good, I think, we have to train better in these hot conditions. We definitely stand an advantage in the hot conditions, I feel. Right? If we train well.
In general, we train either early morning or go to the track or an evening run, right? But the actual race is in the middle of the day. Like on the weekends, are you guys out in the middle of the day doing your...
I remember my last session before Langkawi, the weekend before, I did like almost, how much did we ride that? I think it was 175 kilometers or something we rode, and then I was running till 1:30 in the afternoon. So it's, it helps. It helps.
Yeah, it does.
And I have to like say this heat adaptation, acclimatization, I mean, a lot of people, it's like unproven science right now. But I mean, a lot of people have been trying it. I myself have been trying it in bits and pieces and it does work.
Yeah.
It's not only like about getting the tech like a core sensor, but also like after your sessions, jumping into a dry sauna, building an adaptation, all of it's working slowly.
Is that so you do that? That's what they say, right? You want to keep your core temperature up. So you finish your workout and then you do your recovery in a hot place, right? In a sauna, right?
Me and Philipp both did the same regimen before Cebu and both of us felt the difference in results. We felt like our heat tolerance was much better.
Yeah.
But it's something that you lose very fast as well. Again, for example, I didn't have a chance to do that for Langkawi. Yeah. And I felt definitely the heat more stressing me. And Cebu, where we had done saunas, hot sauna, 15, 20, 25 minute sessions almost every day in the lead up to the race, 3 weeks, definitely felt less impacting me. It did not necessarily translate direct into speed, but I felt less bothered.
Yeah, because the first time you sit in the sauna, it's unbearable, right? It's like you feel like you're breathing in fire, right?
It's really the dry one. I mean,
dry.
The dry ones, oh my God. I mean, that's where the real gains are happening.
Yeah.
So after you do it for 5 days in a row or for a week, does it feel...
It feels different than you take. The difference goes up playing. You're able to sit for 20 minutes as well.
Yeah.
The first day, even 10 minutes seems like difficult, but then you're going up to 20 minutes.
Yeah.
It helps more.
I agree.
Okay, and then, so back to the newbie people, what have you done you guys have, between you must have done most of the races in the region, right? What do you think is the most beginner friendly? Would it be like Cebu because it's got nice swim, or is it?
Oh, the run is too hot.
Too hot?
If you ask me, I would say the most beginner friendly would still be Da Nang. I mean,
even though it's really hot?
Even though it's hot, but the bike course is like quite flat and fast, and the run also is like flat out and back. So it's like still much better. I feel Da Nang is more beginner friendly compared to Cebu or Langkawi. Cebu has got a lot of climbs. Langkawi, the bike course is extremely technical.
I think
the newbies here definitely can't push in Langkawi.
Phuket might be even better because it's not as hot. I feel because it's also different time of the year, November. The swim is also easier. Like Da Nang, the swim, if it happens, is usually you have to go through a number of swerves.
Oh, okay.
You have to know what to expect to get through that. And I think the heat is also more stinging in Da Nang.
So yeah,
and the weather is more. If it rains, it might be 5 degrees colder, but once that is gone and the sun comes out, it's sauna.
Yeah.
So yeah, Phuket might be a good place to start.
Okay. I think we better wrap it up. Thanks, guys, for coming in. Arjun, what's the best way to get a hold of you? AJ Kandi _try racing? Still the same?
Still the same old.
Philipp Kloeber with 2 P's, 3 P's?
Yeah.
And you can find us tagging each other so you won't miss us.
Yeah. Fine. Just sit on the side of the road on a Saturday morning and you'll come past eventually.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys, for coming in. And thank you for wearing the shirts. This wasn't planned, but it worked out well. Thanks, guys.
Thank you for having us.
No worries.